All right, so I would say this is some pretty huge news. If you guys remember a while back, there was some rumors about a apparent PVE mode, and just today we got an update from a developer saying there are currently no plans for a PVE mode, but they're continually experimenting with new game modes. All right, guys, what's up? Willis here. We're back with another Marvel Rivals video. Got a bit of a huge news video for you guys today regarding a lot of developer stuff, which there was some interviews, and we get to take a look at a lot of questions that were asked to the developers of Marvel Rivals, literally within the past few days. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this video as well. Use the timestamps because obviously there's a lot to go over. Once again, we are still doing the giveaways for the Lunar Snow 2099 and the Invisible Woman wedding skin. Support this video with a like, leave a comment down below, and make sure to subscribe. And yeah, let's jump into the video. So IGN actually spoke to Marvel Rivals producer at the DICE Summit in Las Vegas this week, and they basically asked him about any plans for a PvE mode, and he said this was his response. For now, we don't have any kind of a PvE plan, but our development team is continuously experimenting with new gameplay modes. So if we found that a new specific game mode is entertaining enough, fun enough, we would of course bring it to our audience. So that answers that. Now, like I said, there was a bit of a rumor in the community that apparently we will be getting a PvE mode at some point, but not sure if that was true or not. And it says, after he said this, Marvel Games executive producer Danny Koo hopped in to ask if I wanted a PvE mode in Marvel Rivals, and I told him I did. Wu continued, said, yes, we believe there are some of our audience that would like the PvE mode, but also you can see that if we come up with a hardcore PvE experience, that will be a totally different, distinctive experience from what we have right now. So our development team has been continuously experimenting with different approaches to achieve that goal. Maybe a lighter mode in a lighter sense of that, and to see what would be working best for our game. So obviously, like I said, it does sound like now there are no current concrete plans for PvE. But yeah, NetEase, as you can probably see, are hinting at different game modes potentially coming that they are testing out. So yeah, some pretty cool little exciting news there regarding PvE in Marvel Rivals. Now, on the other hand, it looks like NetEase are already in talks with Nintendo about putting Marvel Rivals on the Switch 2. Now, I feel like this would be an insane move for NetEase. Marvel Rivals just coming with the launch of the Switch 2 would be huge. So yeah, a lot of this comes from obviously IGN basically talking at the DICE Summit in Las Vegas. So yeah, they're basically just asking the game producer, and he mentioned that the team was already in contact with Nintendo and apparently working on some development kits. So the decision will come down to how the game performs on the system. It says the goal to provide a great experience was the same reason the developer chose to not release the game on the original Switch. So again, as long as it can provide great performance on the Switch 2, it's open to release on this platform. And yeah, a lot of people wondering why Marvel Rivals didn't come on the Switch. It looks like it probably would not have performed well. Optimization wise, like hell, even on PC, there were a ton of problems. So I couldn't imagine the hurdles they would have to go through to fix a lot of the bugs and performance issues on the Switch. So as we know, the Switch 2 has way better hardware in it and should be enough to run Marvel Rivals. And yeah, hopefully when we open up a Doctor Strange portal on the Switch 2, the Switch 2 just doesn't explode. That would be unfortunate. So yeah, we could be seeing Marvel Rivals come to the Switch 2. What are your guys' thoughts on that? So we keep getting just so much dev info, and this basically is coming from IGN. It seems like they've just had some access to obviously asking the devs a lot of questions, and yeah, they're honestly just answering. So up next, we have obviously the developers saying that they're not trolling data miners. We'd rather spend our time developing the game. So there was a rumor a while back that apparently devs were basically placing, I guess like fake info, and then data miners were finding it. And there was this whole thing. And yeah, the devs have basically just come out and said, no, we're not doing that. It says there was a rumor that began to circulate in the community. Some of the names were fake, planted there by the developers to mislead the data miners. Says even now there's disagreements in the community as to which, if any, of the datamine characters are really being seriously considered for the game. Now, they had the chance to ask the developers directly if they're secretly performing a elaborate troll, and this was their response. He says, so firstly, we want to say that we don't recommend anybody to make adjustments to the game files, obviously. Says also, you can see that for each character's design, actually, we come through a very complicated process, and we make a lot of concepts, trials, prototypes, developments, etc. So there could be some information left in the code, and it might mean that we have tried those different directions, and they may appear or may not appear in future plans. And whether or not they will appear in our future pipeline is highly depending on what kind of gameplay experience our players would expect in our game. Who added, if I could have a 10-year plan, it'd be great, but the team experimented with a lot of playstyles. Heroes, it was like there's someone doing scratch paperwork and just left a notebook there, and someone, a data miner, decided to open it with no context. And then IGN proceeded to say, I pushed a little, asking them point blank if they were deliberately trolling people. Who replied, no, we would rather spend our time developing the actual game. So honestly, that puts that speculation to bed, as it was a major thing. I think like a few weeks ago we did cover it. All right, now this is a big one as well. So this is talking about how they, I guess, plan updates for Marvel Rivals and how far in advance. It says, in the same conversation, we also discussed how characters get chosen to be added into Marvel Rivals in the first place. The two told me that the team plans updates roughly a year in advance and is committed to keeping its current pace of adding new characters every month and a half. For each update, NetEase first looks at what type of characters and skill set is needed to balance out the rest of the game and add a variety to the roster, and come up with a list of several different possible additions. Wu told me that part of NetEase's strategy for achieving the game balance is to focus less on aggressively tweaking existing characters to be perfectly fine-tuned, and more on adding new characters and experiences to keep things fresh, fill gaps, support characters that are a bit weak with new team abilities, or counter characters that might be a little too strong. But yeah, this is pretty huge. The fact that they plan updates roughly a year in advance means, yeah, they've probably got the whole of 2025 already planned out. It's not something they do last minute, so everything's already planned out. So the Valentine's event, the Christmas event, the Chinese New Year event, that was all done a year ago, which is just crazy to me. So NetEase have definitely got their stuff together. So it says, once they have a list of possibilities, NetEase then takes these suggestions to Marvel Games and begins working on the initial designs. From there, they look at what the community is currently excited about, as well as what's planned a year in advance in other Marvel divisions, such as if a big film or comic arc is coming out that they can tie a character in with. That helps them come to a final decision on what's going in. All of this explains why there might be a lot of different heroes listed in the code. NetEase just has a lot of ideas they're tossing around all the time. Once again, on February 25th is obviously the split. We're going to get the Thing and the Human Torch. Obviously, this is tied to the launch of the Fantastic Four, which ties back to obviously them launching the characters around Marvel movies and stuff like that, which makes sense. The new Captain America skin as well, obviously for the movie, the new sprays and stuff. So yeah, like I said, when new Marvel stuff comes out, you will probably see that reflected in Marvel Rivals with the new characters. So I'm assuming, I don't know if this is going to be real, when like Daredevil comes out, we're going to get some Daredevil stuff in Marvel Rivals. It would only make sense. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. As well, we're still doing the giveaway for the Wedding Bundle and the Lunar Snow. The winner can choose. So support this video, like, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Come and join the Discord, because that's where we pretty much pick the winners of these giveaways. As well, we are live every single Saturday over on Twitch. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Peace, guys.